First I felt the sound, I felt insane.
Over the past 15 years, I mostly saw myself to be a songwriter. And with my band Let Me Introduce It to the End, I tried to reach as many people as I possibly could. Though truth be told, there was a large gap between who I saw myself to be and who I actually was. I could have shown you a photograph from the festival that I played in Ukraine, but it would have been during your English lesson with me as your native speaker. I could have told you about my band, but the point is that I would have been the one telling you about the band. You most likely would have never heard of it otherwise. When I looked up, I could see all these faces, really concentrated, really with us. Looking back on things, what I would have presented you as pride was actually an insecurity, me showing you who I wished I was. As ashamed as I am to admit this, the only other word I could use to describe this behavior is delusional. Ja tylko mam jeden cel. Bliżej połączenie z moim drugim dom, moim ulubionym kraj na świecie, Polska. I've often wondered if America is responsible for the spread of American culture, or if people are simply so similar everywhere that they reach the same conclusion as beings. Kind of like when you move from one town to another to find the same versions of different people you knew in your previous home.
17 do 16 na antenie Radia Centrum. Jest już z nami grupa Let Me Introduce You to the End. Dwie osoby. Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry. I held off for a long time, but my artistic integrity began to slip. I decided to indulge in some activities which would only be shunned by real artists. I made a YouTube clip called See How That American Speaks Polish, which went viral.
My accent jest okropny, bo ja po prostu nie używam.
I made a radio show called Socash and the Stars to promote Polish culture abroad, but the emphasis was in my name, Socash. I worked with the band Koma and Piotr Gudzki, despite the fact that I honestly disliked their music in the beginning, though in time I learned to like it. I did a morning radio show named Bed and Breakfast on Czwórka, which went against all my will of waking up early. I hosted two other shows named Socash and Pollywood for Wirtualna Polska, which gave me some extremely strange public associations. But everything started to change the moment that Wirtualna Polska posted a photograph of myself and Michał Wisniewski on their front page. People who had previously regarded me as an artist started to disregard me as a sellout. And I rapidly learned that wider recognition does not mean better recognition. One of the first times that someone recognized me on the street was at a Myslowiec concert. I was watching one of my favorite Polish bands when I heard amongst their beautiful music, "Hey, there's that fucking American. Let's get him. Let's beat his ass." The thing is, about fake humility, your heart is not in it. It doesn't enhance ambition. It does not enhance the world. It simply erodes everything. Despite the erosion, every time I rode a train past Warsaw's National Stadium, I was dumbfounded by the idea that more people could see a given video released on the internet than would be accommodated in that stadium. Yet in a way, it was all for nothing. At a certain point, I needed to accept the fact that the art I was making was simply not suitable to a wider audience, and that perhaps, as an artist, what I created was not good enough. I abandoned my charades and returned to my roots, but this time with the intention of personal satisfaction and not acclaim. So when I slow down to consider that 50,000 people have made a decision to click subscribe to this channel, I am beyond humbled, amazed, and grateful. And for that reason, from the bottom of my heart, I wanted to take a moment to thank all of you for supporting Kult America. And one positive lesson I learned by performing in shows like Pollywood is that having people recognize me for someone who I'm not helped me accept who I actually am. I am a left-handed, dyslexic Scorpio who moved to a strange land to live with strangers. I will always try my best to be brutally honest on this channel, even at the expense of my personal pride. And once again, thank you for subscribing.
Jestem z pokolenia Polskiej Gwiazdy. Miłość to nie puszczą. Kurde, ja po prostu nie potrafię czytać nic. Pytamy kameraman. Dobrze.
Strasznie słabo.
On ma nowe słowo dla mnie. Kazik.
No, to nie jest nowe słowo, to jest słowo onegdaj.
People spend most of their time thinking about tomorrow or yesterday, when what really matters is right now.